developing a schedule of quantity for selected trades using Excel sheet. So the topics that I have covered in this presentation is the first one, what is SOQ? The second one is setting up of TDS sheet. The third one is measurement and quantification. Fourth, reinforcement bar. And fifth, abstracting quantities. And the sixth one is preparing SOQ. Seventh one, presentation and documentation. Eighth, the cost calculation of trade unit. And the ninth one is conclusion. So the first one, what is SOQ? SOQ stands for a statement of qualification. It is a formal document that highlights a company experience, expertise, and ability to successfully complete a construction project. It is usually submitted during the pre-qualification or binding stage to demonstrate the firm has the necessary qualification to perform the required work. And SOQ typically includes information about company's background, like how is the company background, or the project completed by company was successful or not. And the skills and resumes of key members, technical capabilities, safety records, and references. The purpose of SOQ is to give project owners confidence that the contractor or consultant is capable and reliable for the job, that it makes the surety for the contractor and the client that the contractor will complete the project in the given timeline and build the project in the New Zealand according to the New Zealand building code. So the second one is setting up TDS spreadsheet. In construction, TDS spreadsheet stands for time dimensional square. It is a document that provides essential technical information about material, product, equipment, or proposed to be used in a project. This means like it provides the detailed information about what type of material to be used and how much material and what equipments to be used, such as labor or machines. The purpose of TDS sheet is to ensure that items meets the required performance standards and specifications as per the project. This means that the material and the equipments that are used for the construction project should be suitable for the construction project that is going to be built. It typically includes details such as the product physically and chemical properties and compliance with relevant codes or standards like ASTM or BS, manufactured information, test data, recommended appliances, and user guidelines. Next. So the third one is measurement and quantification. Measurement and quantification in construction are essential processes that help determine the physical dimensions and quantities of various construction activities and materials. This means like the quantification and measurement is also essential in construction project to measure the accurate material required for the building a construction project. So measurement involves calculating the length, area, and volume of the item such as concrete works, brickworks, plastering, and excavation. This means like how much concrete is to be used for a building project and how much bricks and plastering should be used in that project. Quantification takes these measurements and converts them into usable figures for initializing material, labor, and cost. These processes play a vital role in project planning, budgeting, tendering, and bidding. Next. And the fourth one is rain bar force one. The reinforcement bar is now commonly used as a rain bar. It is a steel bar for mesh of steel wires used in reinforced concrete as masonry structures to strengthen the concrete in tension. Concrete is very strong in comparison but weak in tension. So rebar is used to absorb and distribute tensile forces, preventing cracks and structural failure. This means like the rebar reinforcement is used to provide to non-occurrence of cracks and tensile forces in the construction project. Rebar reinforcement involves placing these steel bars according to the design specification before pouring concrete, ensuring they are positioned correctly for maximum length and durability. So it means like the rebar reinforcement should be placed correctly so it could not harm the construction project and it could be strengthened for a long period of time. The bars are often tied together and placed in a grid pattern, and they may not be bent or shaped to suit structural requirements. So this means like the reinforcement bar should not be bent or stretched, so it could harm the construction project. Rebar reinforcement is essential in structural elements like beams, columns, slabs, and foundations, as it really enhances the load bearing capacity and longevity of the structure. So the fifth one is abstracting quantities. Abstracting quantities means initializing and operating the construction work in a structured term. This, sorry, it's not. Should I speak on? So, this usually done after taking the quantities from drawing as per the specification. So the abstraction quantities are done after the design of a construction project is designed, and the use of the construction project, the use of abstraction quantities is to prepare estimate or the bill quantity. So this provides an estimate like how much material, labor, and cost should be involved in the project. Analyze the cost of different elements of the construction project. So the abstracted quantities also analyze the project, the cost of the elements that are being used in the construction project, to compare and manage material, labor, and time. So it is also used to manage the material, labor, and time so that the client can get the project be completed on time. So the process of abstracting quantities: take off quantities. The second one is use the qualities. The third one, group similar frames, and the fourth one is abstract the quantities. So the sixth one is preparation of SOQ. So it is a document prepared by contractor, consultant, or a company to showcase their experience, skills, and the allocation of the resources regarding the construction project. So SOQ includes relevant project expectations, team member resumes, technical expertise, licenses and certificates that are provided by government to the construction company, safety record, like the construction company has the health and safety equipments or not, and the financial stability. It means like the construction company should have a financial stability to complete that project on time. Presentation and documentation. Developing a schedule of quantities for selected trades involves creating a detailed document that outlines the work and cost associated with each other trade in the construction project. The first step is to identify the scope of work for each trade, ensuring that the tasks are clearly defined to each and every worker, like which task they have to perform. Afterward, a detailed quantity takeoff is performed by measuring the work based on project drawings and specifications using appropriate units of measurement. Example, square meters, linear meters, cubic meters. Each item of work is itemized with a description, quantity, and unit of measurement cost. Estimation follows where labor and material costs are calculated based on the quantities identified, incorporating market rates, overheads, and profit margins. Once the costs are estimated, a timeline for the completion of each trade is created considering sequencing and dependencies between trades. So the seventh one is cost calculating of unit rate and its component. Calculating the unit rate in construction involves determining the cost of completing the 1 unit of a specific work item, such as square meter of plastering or 1 cubic meter of concrete. This process begins by clearly identifying the trade item and listing the components required to complete the construction project. 1 unit of that work, this includes material, labor, equipment, usage, overhead, cost, and profit margins. First, the quantity and cost material need for 1 unit are calculated based on the market rates. Next, the labor cost is estimated by determining how much labor is needed to complete the unit and multiplying it by the applicable wage rates. If any tools or equipments are used, their cost is also factored in proportionally. After determining the basic cost overheads such as the site supervision, transport, and miscellaneous, expenses are added, usually a percentage of the total. Finally, a profit margin is applied, which is also typically fixed percentage. All these components are summed to arrive the final unit rate, which helps the budgeting, tendering, and cost control throughout the construction project. So the formula for calculating unit rate is equal to total cost of labor plus material plus equipment plus overheads plus profit divided by quantity of work. So its breakdown. The first one, labor cost. It includes wages, benefits, and productivity of the workforce. The second one is material cost. Cost of all materials needed for specific trade work. Equipment. Cost of machinery, tools used including rental or ownership costs. Overheads. Indirect costs like supervision, utilities, insurance, etc. Profit. The margin added by the contractor regarding the construction project. The last one is quantity of work. The measurement unit of the task, example per square meter, per cubic meter, or per running tool. Components of unit rate are, the first one is labor cost. Labor cost, it means the skilled labor or it means the comparison between skilled labor or unskilled labor that is working at the construction project. The second one is material cost. Cost of all construction materials used for the until of the work. Equipment cost. Expenses related to tools, machinery used in trade. The fourth one, indirect overheads. Indirect costs like site supervision, transportation and utilities. The fourth one is profit margin. This includes contractor expected earnings added to cover business profits. Next. So in conclusion, developing a schedule of quantities for selected trades is a critical aspect of construction management that ensures and precise cost estimation, efficient resource allocation and effective scheduling. By systematically break down the scope of work into manageable items, conducting detailed quantities, takeoffs and calculate accurate cost, the SOQ provides a comprehensive overview of the project requirements. This document serves a vital tool for budgeting, procurement and scheduling, helping to avoid cost overruns and delays. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Harsh, about your presentation. And my comment about your presentation is it is overall good, our whole subsection, but we have to practice more about the content of your presentation. Some information about the SOQ in the introduction section are wrong, so you have to be careful about the content of your presentation. So you have to check again your presentation slides, right? Once you have to present in next time as well, but you are covering the overall, it's good. My other comment is regarding the quantities and measurement part. You have to add some snapshots and the pictures from the assignment, the report which we prepare, right? So you have to be, you have to consider about those things as well. Right. My first question is, tell me the components of the unit trade.
First, labor cost, overheads, and the material cost.
Yes, very good.
The machinery cost and the workmen.
What is the standard guideline we are using to quantifying the measurements or the quantifying the elements quantities? What is the standard guideline we are using?
So firstly,
What is the standard we are using?
sir, for the machinery, like it should be.
Now, what is the standard method of measurement we are using?
ANZSS.
Yeah, ANZSM. Right. Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much.